Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Tonight is a very special session that I am hosting for you guys. And so I want to welcome you all to that. I hope this is broadcasting on Facebook. I just got a notice saying I was having trouble doing that. So if you are able to see me on Facebook, please put in the comments. Also, tonight is a very special event that I am redoing from a live I did 3 years ago, all about spirit guides. And it was an amazing video, and Facebook deleted it. And I like to use it as a precursor for the Meet Your Spirit Guides event. And I ask people to actually listen to it before they sign up, because there's a whole journey there you can have with your spirit guides. So if you are here for that, I want to thank you for tuning in and joining me. For those of you that are used to my lives, I'm usually on here doing readings. I do want to note, and I put in the description for tonight. Tonight, I will not be doing readings. Now, I will be answering questions about spirit guides, but tonight is solely dedicated to spirit guides. We are going to talk about what they are. We are going to talk about what they are not. We're going to talk about misconceptions and how you can identify them. And I'm going to answer your questions. And then you'll get sort of an idea that if you want to move forward and you want to really learn more about your spirit guides, how they are connecting with you, how you can get validation that they are there, how you can deepen your relationship with them and learn to work with them in a really practical and productive way, then I would recommend that you join and participate in the Meet Your Spirit Guides event, which is absolutely free. I usually hold them every other month. I only take 20 people at a time. And we work really personally with you to help you learn to be able to identify and connect and deepen your relationship and communication with your spirit guides, okay? But this is a really good precursor to that. Whether you are brand new to this and you want to have spirit guides, but you're not really sure if you do, and you're not really sure if what you think you're picking up on is correct, or whether you're experienced and you've been, connecting with your spirit guides your whole life, and you just want to take things to the next level or get more validation and more depth, the Meet Your Spirit Guides event and this live right here will help you with both of those, okay? But I just want to be clear, because I know whenever I try to do lives, they're not readings, everybody gets on and they're wanting a reading, and I don't want to disappoint you, but tonight is just dedicated to, we're going to cover whatever broad spectrum we can about helping you really understand what spirit guides are, okay? Go ahead and say hello in the comments if you would, please. Let me know where you're listening from and why you are here. If I do not answer or see a comment tonight, I will try to go back over them and respond. I do want to take a moment to just apologize for being unreliable. The past 6 months or so have been really challenging for me. We all have challenges. I'm also a mindset and transformational specialist and coach, so I help people through these things all the time, but I'm just spread too thin. I have my parents on the opposite side of town that I've started caring for and helping. I have 4 horses that are almost an hour away. One of them just got a severe scratch to her cornea, and she has to have medication 6 to 7 times a day via a catheter into her eye. I'm trying to, maintain all of you, 2 of my own businesses, my menagerie of rescue animals at my house, and my wonderful husband. So I'm going on 2 hours sleep a night. I'm just stretched very thin. So if I have not answered you, gotten back to you, I'm late. Today I was late because I had to be at the barn and I couldn't get my hotspot working. And then people from above came down to the bar and interrupted me. So just bear with me. In a few months, this will get sorted out. I am hiring an assistant, which I desperately need, and starting to build a team. So thank you so much for your patience. Okay. Let's say hi to everybody, and then we're going to get started, and I'm going to share with you why this is so important to me, how this was Spirit Guide's idea in the first place, and a couple experiences that I had with Spirit Guides that have led me to believe that it is very important that I be a liaison for people and spirit guides so that you can build the strong bond that already exists between you. Okay. So let's see. Leona, welcome. Great to see you. Rose Crump, hello. Wonderful. Elisa Geese, welcome. Let's see. Oh, yes, this is Jasper. You can only see one of my horses right there. The other one you can't really see, but I have 4 here. That's Jasper. Over there. They're beautiful. So I love actually broadcasting from within the barn with them if I can get my hotspot working. Let's see. Hello, Maria Zubak. Welcome. So, again, I just want to remind you guys, I am dying to do readings. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Kawizi. But I want to remind you all, I have to use self-control this evening. This is to redo an All About Spirit Guides video I did 3 years ago that Facebook deleted. And it's been very important for people that, want to learn about spirit guides, that we want to clear up misunderstandings and misleadings and misrepresentations that are often shared out there, answer your questions. It was a perfect video. It was completely channeled and it got deleted. So I'm redoing it on Facebook. You guys, on StreamYard, you're a part of that tonight. Veronica was gracious enough to let me use her platform to do it because so many of you wanted to participate. This is a precursor to the March 28th Meet Your Spirit Guides Intensive, okay, which is absolutely free. So, but tonight I will do readings. I will make up readings for you earlier this week. But like I said, I've been consumed with just driving back and forth to the barn. I'm trying to save my horse's eye. So, I will get back to readings this week, I promise. But tonight, I'm not doing readings. Tonight, I will answer your questions about spirit guides. We're going to get to know more about them, okay? Let's see, Brolic, I've always wanted to learn about mine. Let's see. Couldn't get into the Zoom. Oh, so the Zoom, Maria, the Zoom screwed up. Zoom is for the Meet Your Spirit Guides event next weekend. And when I tried to send that, it messed up the time and the date. And then I had to re-email you guys from the barn in the middle of the night. So that is my apology. When I get my amazing assistant, who you guys are going to love next month, it's going to make things so much better. And I'm not going to be so hard to track down. Okay. I'm just overwhelmed right now. All right. Let's see. Okay. So again, guys, I'm not doing readings tonight. We're doing spirit guides. So let's first go into what are spirit guides. And then I'm going to share a couple of my stories so you can understand and hopefully so you can relate to your own spirit guide experiences. Many of you may not realize what your spirit guides are doing to try to get through to you. You're probably having experiences that are spirit guide experiences and you're just not aware of it. Okay. So I want you first to be able to recognize and validate that your spirit guides are actually there. All right. So first of all, what is a spirit guide? Okay. Spirit guides are not angels. They are different. And I'm going to talk about how they are different. They are not your regular teaching guides. They are not your totem animal. They are not your loved one that has left you and crossed over back into the other world and come back. They can all be guides, but they are not technical spirit guides. And I know that people use different labels, but I'm very clear and specific about these labels because I want you guys to be very clear about the difference, because then you can identify how they feel different. And if you are excited to be here and you are wanting to learn more about spirit guides, go ahead and give this live a like so more people can find Veronica's page and can find this about spirit guides. Okay. So spirit guides, it's a pretty clear and simple explanation for spirit guides. Spirit guides are their very own unique and specific thing. Okay. When you are assigned spirit guides, and this gives me chills when I say this, guys, because the spirit guides gave me the idea to do this video, and they are the ones that had the idea to do the Meet Your Spirit Guides event. Okay. It was all spirit guides. And when you guys, before you are born, you choose your spirit guides and they choose you based on What is your purpose going to be in this life? What are your goals? What can those particular spirit guides help you with? What are their strengths, right? So you choose this together. You choose a partnership. It's an agreement. And it's really quite cool because those spirit guides are your spirit guides and your spirit guides alone. And I say this because I have so many clients and viewers who ask me, can we share spirit guides? Do they come and go throughout my life? That type of thing. And the answer is no. Your spirit guides are your spirit guides and yours alone for the entire time that you are incarnated in this particular life. Okay. No one else's. They are just partnering with you. Okay. And they are with you constantly by your side through everything, thick and thin. Okay. Now, the cool thing about spirit guides is once they decide to partner with you as a spirit guide and you incarnate, they get this privilege to be able to lower their vibrational frequency so that it is closer to that of you while you are here in this world only during your lifetime. This allows them to get through to you, to speak to you in a more down to earth, sensory way. Okay. It allows them to really like hold your hand and walk through this world with you. Okay. I'm going to tell you about my spirit guides and how I learned this. And I know this because I think as I share this, you guys will go like people did in the last All About Spirit Guides videos. You guys are going to go, oh my God, that's been my spirit guide all along. So they're with you before you're born, when you're on the other side, when you're programming yourself. They're a part of helping you plan and program what you're going to do here. They're a part of programming what part of your cosmic memory you're going to bundle up and really bring with you and remember. Okay. And you guys are, you're very close. Now, some of your spirit guides you have incarnated with, most of them you have incarnated with before. Many of them you have been their spirit guides when they were incarnated. Oftentimes, you guys have been friends for eternity and you're very close on this journey together. So they know you better than anyone. Okay. What can and can't spirit guides do? Because, a lot of people confuse spirit guides with angels and they are very different. Angels are ethereal. They have a much higher, faster vibration. When you have angelic encounters, they can be like, like guardian angels or archangel encounters can be like where they quick incarnate. They surprise you. They show up as a person. For example, I remember having a flat tire on the highway when I was in my early 20s, and I didn't know how to change a tire. I don't even think I knew where the tire was. And out of nowhere, I didn't even see him drive up. Out of nowhere, this guy pulls up in this white van. He came over. He changed my tire. He's very nice. He's like, may I help you? I mean, he's very nice. I completely felt at ease. There wasn't any sense of, oh my gosh, this might be dangerous. I shouldn't let him. It was just like literally just being in this safe, warm cloud. And I couldn't believe how easy and comfortable he made it. He came out of nowhere, just like he fell from the sky. And I was like, oh my God, I was speechless. I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, what is your name? I want to thank you, And he said, it doesn't matter. He says, just pass it forward. And he got in his car and I looked at my car and I got in my car and I looked at my mirror and he was gone. I didn't even see him drive away. Okay. That was an incarnation of an angel. Okay. So, and there's other ways I get validation for that. I like to show people what that means and what that is, but we can go over that different times. Okay. So these things are very important. And it's important to know what these differences are so that when you're trying to connect with your spirit guides, and you can identify just like you'd like to identify who you're interacting with here. Okay. Spirit guides, however, spirit guides cannot swoop in and save you. They don't come in and move things out of your way. They don't come in and move a car out of your way or incarnate as something. They have the gift while you are in this world of having their vibrational frequency slow enough they can walk through this world with you without a body. So their frequency gets slowed down just enough that they can be in this world without a body. Okay. And it's hard work. If you're going to see them, they really have to work hard to slow it down even more. But this is a gift they get to have while you're here. But the way they help is they advise, they suggest, they inspire, they give ideas. Okay. So guys, I'll get to your comments in just a minute. I'm channeling what they want me to share so I can encapsulate the video that we had before so you guys get all this information. Okay. So this, it might be like when I was driving across into a Kroger's parking lot years ago, and all I had to do was go across the street from my parents' neighborhood. And all of a sudden, I just got this sinking feeling, this gut feeling. And your intuition, my friends, is going to be the same as what your spirit guide's advice is. Your intuition, the voice of your soul, will never contradict the voice of your spirit guides, ever. It will always be in sync, okay? Because you are one of them, okay? They're a part of your spirit team. You're a part of your spirit team. They know what your soul knows, but you have an egoic mind. So you usually don't listen to your soul. You listen to your ego. Okay. So what happens is, in this story, so I'm going to go across the street. I'm sitting at a red light and I could hear my spirit guides very loudly. All three of them started out as one and then two and then three because I wasn't listening. Don't cross into the parking lot. And I was like, oh, whatever I wanted to get, guys, I wanted to get it over with. I wanted to get in and out of the store. I wanted to get home. I didn't want to dink around. My ego wanted what it wanted. And it got more and more intense. And the light turned green and I went across the street and they're going, stop. They're literally screaming at me, stop. Do not go in the parking lot. You're going to regret this. And you know what I started doing after decades of working with spirit guides? I was like, look, guys, sorry. I know you mean well, but I'm going in here. Everything will be fine. And they're like, no, it won't. Well, it turns out the exact parking spot I went to turn into, as I turned in, this couple had pulled in and he was backing up while she was opening her door and they rammed right into my car. And it turned into this big fiasco. They didn't want to pay for everything. Then they followed me around the grocery store and blamed me. It was my fault. I drove into the car door. It became a big mess. After that time, I have been much better at making sure I follow what my spirit guides say. Okay. And you guys can think back of times where you might have felt this gut feeling and you felt like somebody was telling you, stop, like, don't do that, or don't go here, or you don't want to do that. And it gets really intense. Like the spirit guides can get really intense if you're not listening. That's them. That's them. Okay. And you need to always listen to them because they are never, ever wrong. But so again, for those of you who just joined, they're not your loved ones that just passed on. They can be guides, but they're not your spirit guides. They are not your angels. They are spirit guides, or their very own specific thing. And it's about time they get the attention and credit they deserve. Okay. All right. I'm going to check questions for a minute, and then I want to share a couple of instances in my life and how I came to integrate spirit guides into my life so fully, because I want you all to begin to recognize how present your spirit guides are in your life. Okay. All right. Judy Ellis, that happened to you? Really? Wow. Yeah, you got to listen to them, don't you? Oh, yay. Happy spring, Dolores. Sweetheart, I will be back on with you guys next week. As soon as I said I was going to. So Dolores is part of my Awakening Your Intuition group, and the girls were gracious enough to give me a couple months break to get my act together. And wow, I was going to start back up with our mastermind, and my horse had to run down to Lexington, Kentucky for an eye specialist. So it's been wild, Dolores, but I cannot wait for us to get back into our group. And those of you interested in the Awakening Your Intuition program too, it's people learning to listen to their intuition and develop their intuitive abilities. Okay, so Brolic, I've always wanted to learn how to discern what's coming through. Yes, well, that's what we're going to do in the Meet Your Spirit Guides event. And that's why this is so crucial for people to listen to first, so that you come into the Meet Your Spirit Guides event already sort of understanding the basics, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, which is why I got online in the first place. Let's see. Maria Zubak says, I hope I'm saying your name right. There are a lot of people who have seen a couple of guides with me. Yes, absolutely. And guys, spirit guides love to make themselves known and seen. It takes a lot of vibrational energy for them to make themselves fully seen, but different people can see them at different levels. Hi, Rita Clark. Welcome. Thank you, Rose. That's my horse, Jasper. I keep looking the wrong way. Okay. Hello, Susan Bolton, Valerie Griffith. Hello, welcome, Helen. So, let's see here. All right. So I want to share with you, and again, if you guys have questions, you can, you put them in the comments. I want to share with you how I got into spirit guides. For me personally, I was very fortunate because the way I programmed myself before I came into this world, and my spirit guides programmed me as well, is I'm going to star your guys' questions. Okay. Hi, Krish. Welcome. And I'm going to star your questions. Thank you, Krish. He is gorgeous. Guys, if you're wanting a reading from me, I will be on in the next couple days to make up for the readings I missed on Friday. I'm dying to do readings, but tonight we're just focusing on spirit guides. Okay. This is a video for people to play for years to come, to answer their basic questions about spirit guides. So my spirit guides have always been with me. I have 3. We can have more spirit guides, but we usually have 1 to 5 who walk very closely with us that we're aware of. And it just depends on, the spirit guides themselves, what they're specializing in, what you need, who they know you're going to interact with. It might not be that you're trouble and you need 5 spirit guides. It might just be that, there's one soul that you have like a really close relationship with that can help you with a particular thing. And so they've been added to your spirit guide team. Whoever you have as your spirit guides is exactly what you need. Okay. It's perfect. It was not by accident. I have never known my life without my spirit guides. I was fortunate enough that I came very intentionally with a very intact cosmic memory. That is not me bragging. You all have cosmic memory. It's just most of you, it's been brainwashed out of you in the society that we live in. Most people's parents and families, that's not part of their everyday life. So they don't know to help you maintain that. Usually in our world, we are stripped of our imagination and our spiritual connection early on, and we are brainwashed. Okay. I was fortunate that my parents were spiritual, but not religious. They encouraged and allowed me to spend a ton of time in nature, which is really the true spiritual place to be. That's the true temple. That's where the purest God source energy actually is. And you are a part of nature. So nature silences that noise in your head, and it allows you to get in touch with your intuition, which is the voice of your soul, right? The one that connects with God, source spirit, your angels, your spirit team. And my parents, we spent a lot of time in nature. They did dance, they did music. They allowed me to keep my imagination. They were both very spiritual themselves. They were very conscious, very conscientious. And so they helped me grow up knowing, okay, well, I can't just walk up to my friends and talk to them about their spirit guides at age 6, right? They were very good at helping me understand that. I did understand that, but they were good support for that. I have a deep respect for the true spiritual thread that flows through most religions, really giving the same core message. And they protected me in a way that allowed me to allow my cosmic memory to flow through. So I was able to grow up without losing all of that like most people do. Because when we're born, we get amnesia. Okay. And that's a blessing. But that was something pre-programmed, and I programmed myself very specifically for this purpose here. So, that was very helpful. But the first spirit guide that showed up, the only one I knew until I was like 12 or 13, was my spirit guide, Aiden. And he's Irish. I'm part Irish. And he grew up with me. So when I was 5, he was 5. When I was 13, he was 13. And it was really neat, because he was able to interact with me wherever I was. You guys, I want you to think about or take notes about your own life experience while you're listening to me, because I think this is going to bring about, my stories are going to bring about some things that you might not have been aware of that were your spirit guides trying to keep you in the loop as well. So Aiden's job was to make sure I did not forget. There's Tempe. There's another one of my horses. His sole job when I was a child was to make sure that, like most children who lose sight and forget about their angels and spirit guides, and they stop believing in them by the age of 6, which is when really the subconscious mind really solidifies, and we switch out of theta mode. And so by the age of 6, most children are pretty much completely brainwashed. They are into television now, and their phones, their friends, their TV shows. They're disconnected from nature. They're watching TV all the time. They're caught up in the latest fads in school. They're caught up in what I call the fake life, not reality. It's a fake man-made reality that is conformed specifically to brainwash you, to control you, and to get you to pay into the economy. Okay. Anyway, enough said on that, but that's the bottom line. So Aiden's job was to make sure that I did not forget who I was, that I did not close off to my cosmic memory, that I did not forget my spirit guides, that I did not write them off, that I could still connect with angels and animals. That was his job. And how do you think he did that? At Asiase VBH. Yes, he is beautiful. That's Jasper. So the way he did that was, sorry, I read your messages and I get distracted. The way Aiden did that was he would make himself really annoying at unopportune times. So in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, for example, when I was at Montessori school, we were supposed to be paying attention, interacting on things. Guess what Aiden would be doing? He'd be running back and forth outside in the windows, trying to get my attention, telling me he had to tell me something. We had to talk about something. I had to remember this and that. It was always something big or spiritual or something that had to do with the energy grids of the earth or something, like that. And I would just get irritated. It's like, why can't you wait until I'm out of school at 3? Why do you have to do this at 1 o'clock? And so I was trying to interact with him, and, it was always something like that. And it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized that was his job. His job was to grow up with me and to, if need be, bug the bejeegers out of me, distract me every day in my real world. Because that's how he made sure I didn't forget. Now, I'm going to tell you one of the most amazing stories. Thank you, Krish. And I'm using Aiden because when you guys, if any of you join the Meet Your Spirit Guides, one of the things that we focus on, depending on where you are with your relationship with your spirit guides, one of the things that we focus on is getting validation. Okay. I know there's all this, evidential mediumship stuff going on now. And I've always done that. I think it's very important. But finding evidence for your spirit guides is also very important, and it can be really powerful. So Aiden, when I got to a point when I remember I was 16, I might have been 17, but I was a sophomore in high school, and it was after lunch. And after lunch, we went to English class, and we had this darling little Italian lady as our teacher. And although my father taught at the school, she really didn't like me. She didn't really like the blonde girls. There were certain people she liked. I was not one of the people she liked. She usually just pretty much ignored me, but she was super sensitive. And if you did the wrong thing, she would just burst into tears. So I remember we'd had lunch. I went to the bathroom. We got into class. I sat down. I'd been having an ongoing bicker with Aiden because I'd been saying to Aiden for a few weeks, I really want more physical validation. Like, I can see you, but I want to see you in like a solid physical body like mine. Like, I want to see you legs and all, right? Now, it is difficult for angels and spirit guides to, those in the spirit world, to make themselves visible to us fully in physical flesh form, because it takes so much energy to lower their vibrational frequency. So that's why often when you see ghosts being depicted, they're just like the head, they look like a sheet that's like the end is flowing, like they have a tail. You typically don't see their legs. The legs are representations of the solidification of the lowering of the vibrational frequency to be down to earth. Okay. So that's why you really don't see that, because often you just see the top half of someone, or you see it looks sort of like static on a TV, right? So I sat down in this English teacher's class, and I'm arguing with Aiden. Like, I'm in the front row and I'm arguing with him in my head because he wouldn't leave me alone. And he was like, come on, I've got to show you something. I've got to show you something. And I was used to this, guys. He'd done this to me my whole life. And I said, not now. Like, it's not possible. Like, I'm in English class. Well, the next thing you know, keep in mind, I had just taken a pee. I had to pee more than I have ever had to pee in my life. And there was no way I could just sit through that class. So guess what? All of a sudden he was like, and I was pissed. I was so humiliated. Up went my hand. And of course, the teacher's like, what? Well, she knew I just came from lunch, and she was not happy. I was in big trouble, and she was very upset. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but to her it was. So all the way down the hall, I was, I can't believe you did that. So here's the thing, guys. At that point in time, the halls were usually still crawling with students, seniors that were leaving for the day, and, people coming and going. It was after lunch. People were, coming and going from different things. There was nobody in the hall. Nobody. And I went down my hall, made a right to the main hall. And then as I get around the corner, the hallway opens up and it branched out in 3 different directions. And when I got to the big open space, it still gives me chills. I want to tear up every time. There, standing in front of me, like a full-fleshed person, was Aiden. And it makes me want to cry. It's just like it happened yesterday. Here he'd given me exactly what I asked for. And he said to me, we only have, like 90 seconds or so, because I can only maintain this frequency. And I think we had like a 3-minute conversation. But he said, I can only do this for a couple minutes at a time. It takes a lot of energy to vibrate into this. Now, for those of you who don't know, Your physical body is not physical. It's 99.999% space. We know this. It's a quantum physics fact. You're looking through me right now. Your brain is filling in the light spaces and the particles that your eyes are seeing. Okay, but actually you're seeing right through me. Your hands never touch. You're 99% space. It's an illusion. Because of the way the atoms are aligned, we're able to feel that physicalness. So your physical body is physical because of the vibration and the movement of the energy of your energetic being. It's the vibration that gives you this physicality. And when you pass away, it's vibration that leaves, that changes. That's all it is, a shift. So I now understand, I didn't understand at 16 quantum physics, but I now understand that what he had to do was he had to manipulate his vibrational frequency to be as similar to as if he had been born and incarnated as possible. And he did that, so I had this proof. And here was this beyond beautiful spiritual being standing in front of me in full physical form with his bright blue eyes and his rosy cheeks and his bright red hair, just the way I'd always seen him growing up, only he was physically standing there. So, of course, I stopped and the tears just ran down my face. And after that, we stopped bickering. We don't bicker anymore. Okay. So, yes. So this is live, Jenny. Yes. And I am dying to do readings for all of you. I normally do readings on here. Tonight is a special all about spirit guides event. So I am not doing readings tonight, but I'll do them in the next couple days for you. Okay. I want you guys to have these questions answered about spirit guides. And then if you want to join my Meet Your Spirit Guides event, the next one is the 28th. I'm almost filled in spaces. But, you know, if you guys want to learn to literally get this validation and have the level of relationship with your spirit guides that I have, I'm going to give you that opportunity. Okay. But this is a precursor to that, so that you guys understand how present your spirit guides are. I think spirit guides get pushed under the rug a lot. The name gets tossed around and people misunderstand them for angels. And they don't understand how important they are. Okay. So anyway, those are two of my spirit guide stories. I want to share one more with you. I want to share an angel story with you because I want you to really understand the difference between the angels and the spirit guides. Okay. Remember, I said the spirit guides can influence, they can inspire, and they can guide you. They talk to you, they make suggestions. Okay. But they can't intervene. They can't jump in and save you. Okay. And remember, you have to ask. So, like, even with angels, you have to ask for them to help and assist. Okay. But I want to give you an angel story so you understand the difference. This is a story I had shared on the original All About Spirit Guides event. Absolutely. Yes, you can ask questions, Maria. I'm starring the questions so that as soon as I'm done with giving you the backstory, because I want you guys to have these examples I'm giving you, because I want you to be able to go back and look in your life and your history and go, oh, maybe those were spirit guides and I didn't know. Okay. Because this is different and personal for everyone. Okay. So, hi, Jane 7 Jane. Sorry. Let's see. Melissa, I'm going to star yours as well. I'm going to go back and get questions in just a few minutes. Okay. And then, guys, please keep your eyes out. Like I said, I'm getting an assistant in April, so I will be more dependable. That once my horse's eye gets healed. So, you know, I'm just thank you for bearing with me. My life is insanely thin, spread thin right now. So here's a story of an angel, my guardian angel, one of them. I gave you the one about the guy stopping and coming into physical form and changing my tire. That one was amazing. But this other one's just as amazing. I dated an amazing guy for about 8 years, and we traveled throughout Europe together. It's a very karmic relationship. And he had a temper. And I mean, I never got hurt. He hurt himself, but there were still some things to work out there. And there was one night that we were getting ready to pack for a trip. And we had an empty great room upstairs. So it was off the bedroom and it stepped down. And unfortunately, the room was empty except for a suitcase. But I used that to train and practice in my martial arts. And we were redoing the bathroom at the time. And we had pulled a gigantic mirror off the bathroom and it didn't have any edges on it. And we had it leaning against the wall. It had been sitting against that wall for over 8 months and it hadn't moved. And this one particular night, he would oftentimes, if he got upset late at night. I think he was half asleep. And he got up and he was really angry and he came walking in the bedroom and walking around. And he followed me into the great room. He was, we were fighting. He was yelling at me and I was yelling back. And I walked into the great room. There was nothing in there. And I knew that night that he was going to throw me out the window. Don't ask me how I knew. I knew I was going through both panes of glass and out that 2-story window. It was very clear what was going to happen. And I just remember there was nothing in that room except that suitcase. And I walked in the room. And when I got in the room, I realized he's going to throw me out this window. And there was nothing there to stop him from throwing me out the window. And I remember he picked up the suitcase and he threw the suitcase at me. And I just remember curling up in a ball on the floor and putting my hands over my head. And it was the first and only time I had ever felt the need to say, I literally said, "Oh, God, help me." Now, let me give a little backstory to this, okay? Number one, you have to ask for help, okay? So guys, this is Krish. It's fine. Oh, it's fine. It was fine. I never was hurt. I was always fine. This is not a victim story. I was not a victim. This is a guardian angel story, okay, Krish? So you don't need to feel sorry for me. There was nothing to feel sorry for. Cindy Peace, welcome. Amy, hello. I'm telling this story because it highlights my guardian angel and guardian angels for you guys, okay? It gives validation. This mirror that had never moved was not jostled. So the mirror was here and he was walking down the step here, the one step. If his stepping down into the room would have vibrated the floor enough to move that mirror, which we had walked in that room hundreds of times, then it would have happened when he stepped down, but it didn't. After he stepped down and I had buried my head in my hands and I'd said, "Oh, God, help me," I look up to see him standing there and the mirror stood up, went forward, it knocked him down, it broke and it pinned him to the floor. The mirror broke, it went through his hand and pinned him to the floor. To my horror. But what you guys don't know is that as I was walking into the room, all of a sudden my guardian angel that had been like, "You guys have to stop this. Something's going to happen. You got to stop this." He had tried to stop me from walking into that room, but I walked into the room and he's dancing around in front of me. And I swear, wings and all of a sudden, boom, he was so visible. And he's standing between us and the window like this, trying to make sure I didn't go out the window. That guardian angel, not that he was trying to hurt my ex, but that guardian angel moved that mirror and stopped him in his tracks. Now, why was it so severe? Why did the mirror break and pin him to the floor, which caused severe injury? Because, listen very carefully to this, very carefully. The intention he had of throwing me out the window through the glass was equal to the mirror falling on his hand and pinning him to the floor. It was not that the angel said, this is what you deserve. It's not anything like that. It's what can the angels do vibrationally to manipulate and turn. It's like a keto, right? It's like how they switch the energy. All they did was redirect that energy, and the energy he was giving out came back to him, which equaled the getting the pin to the floor. Okay. Now that created a whole nother sense of issues. Obviously we had to call 911, go to the hospital. He had to have surgery on his hand. That was my wake-up call, that every time he got angry at me, he got hurt. I never got hurt. I was always protected. I never got hurt. Those are the angels at work, right? So angels can interfere when you ask for help. Spirit guides can guide, encourage, inspire. So they can protect you by talking, but you have to listen, right? So these things are very important. I want to share one other thing. Aiden likes to ride with me in the side of my car, like in the passenger seat. And there are many years that I spent alone working through things, or lonely, or crying, or talking in the car. And I could always feel that warmth and see him there. And it was like a best friend. So I want you guys to think for a minute, and then I'm going to get into taking your questions. I want you guys to think for a minute about my stories. And what can you relate to that you might not be aware of? Are your spirit guides trying to get through to you? They will help you and be there and support you no matter what, whether you're aware of them or not. But if you would like to interact with them the way you interact with humans on an everyday level, like I do, that's what the Meet Your Spirit Guides event is about, whether you're new to spirit guides or whether you're experienced. Okay, because the more you acknowledge them and you get to know your special rapport, and you get to understand how they communicate with you and how you can communicate back to them, the more powerful it gets. Now, the last thing I want to share, and I do have two other spirit guides that I work closely with, but Aiden's the best example because he's been here all along. My other spirit guides are for other things. When I moved to Scotland, I was really getting into the evidential part of readings, and I wanted proof. I mean, physical, tangible proof. I loved my spirit guide so much. And I really wanted to know. It's like, okay, well, I know that my other two were not incarnated in this world with me, not in this dimension, not in this world. But Aiden has been. And so I asked him, who were you? Because, he's like, well, we've been together in lives. I said, well, who were you? What is the last life that I incarnated with you in? And is there any sort of historical documentation or proof and validation that I can get? And this is another fun thing that we do in Meet Your Spirit Guides, is I help you all on your journey to discover that with your guides. Now, do you have to have it? No. Is it fun and really cool and validating? Heck yeah. So when I moved to Scotland, Aiden told me dates, locations, names of other people in history. He explained that he had been King Aiden on the island of Iona, and when it was, and who he knew, and what he did. He was Irish. And wow, that's all I needed. So I took the dates he gave me and the locations and the names. And while I was living in Scotland, I turned it into a huge research project. And I researched all about it. And I found that everything he had told me was true. I found King Aiden. I found the historical records and stories of him. I found the priests and bishops and people that he interacted with. I found, the locations at which he lived. I learned about Iona and the purpose that he'd had there. And I got all this validation that my Aiden was this Aiden in the last life that I had with him. So it's pretty darn cool. Now, some of you will have spirit guides that you may not be able to get that validation. Okay, you may not be able to. It may be that they haven't incarnated, in a long time, or that, like my other two guides, maybe they haven't incarnated in this realm. But some of you will be able to get that validation, and others of you will be able to find other validation. It just depends on where you are in your journey. Okay. And I believe that when we have that backup of our spirit team, we are less easily influenced by others. We are not as affected by bullying and mistreatment. We are stronger and more confident about making decisions because you never feel alone. If I was bullied in school or felt stuck or had a hard time or was in a dangerous situation, I could always rely on my spirit team. I was never alone. When my friends were getting depressed or, having a real hard time, I wasn't, because I was working it out and journaling with my spirit team. So it gave me another dimension to life that most of my friends growing up with had been cut off from, and it had been replaced with entertainment like Disney and television and, maybe sports. Sports is great, but you've got to have that spiritual outlet and connection for yourself. That is vital. And that's what working closely with my spirit team really helped me to do. Okay. All right, Ty, hello. Oh my gosh, absolutely. So, Ty, I've got 3. And usually I find people have between 1 to 5 spirit guides. I rarely see 1. It's usually 2 to 5. I've seen people with 7 or 9. Your spirit guides are with you your whole life all the time. But some of them will step forward and step back depending on when you need them. For example, Dragden, my warrior spirit guide, when I am doing martial arts training or self-control practices and things like that, he is very, very present. But you typically need to interact with him on a day-to-day basis about normal things, unless something that affects him arises, right? That calls upon him. So, I'm not sure when you were on earlier, I said usually when people have more, I find that it's not because they need them necessarily. It's, they need them, but it's not because the spirit guides are like, oh, wow, this one's going to be trouble. We better give them 9 spirit guides. Remember, you are the one deciding with your spirit guides who you need for each life. And it's never wrong. It's always done perfectly because you're doing it on the other side before you're incarnated. Okay. So if you have that many, it's because they have very specific things that you need or know, or you've had a very specific relationship with them in which in this particular life they can help you with. Okay, that's a great question, Ty. Okay, let's see. I'm going to scroll back up and do questions. Let's see. 7, Jane. I must not have spirit guides. I'm always at the losing end. Interesting. I'm going to start with this for a second. No, you're not. You're not always at the losing end. Okay, that's an egoic perspective. And along with this psychic medium stuff, guys, I am a mindset coach and I'm a transformational specialist. So I work with neuroscience to help people get free of their mind so that they can live from their consciousness. When we take things personally or we think things are always good for us or always bad for us, we're in an ego state, right? So we also create self-fulfilling prophecies. So if you are in the habit of acknowledging and recognizing that it seems like you're always on the losing end, then you're going to create more of that, because manifesting says you do create what you believe. And although this is not a coaching session, this is a spirit guide session, I want to say and share with you something I share with my coaching clients. 95% of our mind, you can check with Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's my favorite neuroscientist. Dr. Joe Dispenza shares how 95% of our mind is we're unaware of, is our subconscious mind. So that means the 5%, well, only 5% of your mind that is here listening to me that's saying, wow, her hair looks bad today, or boy, she's really funny, or I love her lives, or I don't know what she's talking about. That's your conscious mind that's analyzing and judging and thinking about this live. That's the part of your mind you're consciously aware of. But 95% of your thoughts you're not aware of. So if something happened to you as a young child, if you have PTSD or anxiety or trauma, the majority of that, the trauma is there, it's coming out because the majority of the meanings you gave to that are in your subconscious mind. Okay. You can't be aware of that which you're not aware of. All right. So just understand that you can change that and turn that around. And you can even ask your spirit guides how, because they are standing by waiting to do that for you. Okay. The other thing I want to throw out there, guys, is if you feel that you're always having bad luck or on the losing end, keep in mind that there's something to be learned from that. Okay. Every experience is lessons are repeated until learned. And it's probably just a simple mindset change you have to change. Okay. Hi, Nalene. Welcome. True. You got it. Awesome. Sometimes I need to hear these things. That's right. We all do. This is why we do lives, right? Let's see. So I'm going to go back up here. So yes, so on, let's see. If you look at the bottom down here, that's scrolling 7, I have 2 Facebook pages that are scrolling right now. The one is my psychic medium page, and the other is my coaching and mindset page. And I do kind of both in both, right? One, we really get into coaching and mindset and manifesting. The other one, we do more readings and intuition, but we also do transformation and manifesting. Okay. So you can like and follow me at either one of these pages. Okay. Thank you for asking. You like my horse background? Me too, Amy Jones. All right. So let's see. I'm going to scroll up to other questions I have here. I'm going to star yours here, Ty. I'm going to get back to you. Ty, was that your mom on here, Judy? I think she was. That's so exciting. Okay, I want to. Oh, hello, horsies. I want to get a couple questions. Oh yes, Melissa, I'm okay. My guides and angels make sure of that. Okay, do angels mimic human form? Sometimes. That's a great question. Sometimes they do, not always. Angels can come in the form of animals. Yep. With animals, that's different when we do Furball Fridays. I'll talk more about that. But you can have animal angels, animal souls as angels, and then you can have angels like angelic human soul angels that come into animal form. So they can take whatever form they want. They do often take human form. Absolutely. Just keep in mind that when angels incarnate, it in one way or another, it is difficult for them because their vibration is so high. So either they have certain challenges or they have to create certain challenges in their life to maintain a balance, or they might not be on this earth long, or they might appear and disappear, that sort of thing. Okay. It's a great question. All right. Ty, I'm going to get back to your question as well. I want to scroll up here and make sure I'd start a couple questions. Let's see. I love how you guys talk to each other. Yeah, she just spoke about that. Jenny, I'm sorry to hear about your aunt. Will you please come back and join me this week when I do readings? I would love to read for you, okay? Yes, Kweezy, your great grandma definitely knows about you. I hope you're still there. Okay, hold on. I've got a couple questions start up here. Let's see. Oh, I love this. Goodness, the connection to source is palatable here. Yes, I love it too. Thank you guys for all your beautiful comments. Yeah, the horses are very, very peaceful. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I had a couple of questions start. I didn't want to miss them. Here we go. Okay, let me go all the way up. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions here. And then I'll scroll down. It won't let me now. Okay, there we go. Sorry guys, I'm scrolling down to get the questions that I thought I had. Shoot. All right, well, I think I missed them. Guys, if I didn't get your question, would you repost it? Because I'm having trouble scrolling up to the ones that I starred. It keeps booting me back to the bottom. And I think I'm missing the questions that I starred. And I want to make sure I get everybody. I'll have to get off here in about 20 minutes, and I want to make sure I get everybody's questions. Maria, please come back to some of my live readings this week, okay? I'd love to read for you guys. Okay. Let's see here. Melissa, are spirit guides assigned to us the moment we are born? So I'm not sure, Melissa, if you were here in the very beginning. So, and guys, don't forget, if you like this and you find it valuable, please go ahead and like or love this live so that more people can find Veronica's page. She was very generous to let me do this special event on here tonight because so many of you were interested in it. And, what else? I've had 2 hours sleep. I'm having a mind blank. It also helps people that are interested in need the help of spirit guides. Okay. So spirit guides they're not actually assigned to us. We choose them and they choose us. It's a mutual agreement. So your spirit guides are part of your spirit team. Your spirit team is your loved ones who have crossed over and want to assist you, your angels of different levels, different spiritual teachers from different dimensions, beautiful beings, your animal totems. You have a whole set of spirit team there on the other side. And you're a part of that group. You're a part of that spirit team. So they're not actually assigned. We choose. When you sit down and you decide, this is what I need to learn in this lifetime. This is what I want to do. This is what I need to know. This is what I need help with. You get together with your spiritual group, your spiritual teachers and everything, the spirits on the other side that are helping you with what you want to accomplish in this lifetime. And you all sit down and you decide and you agree. And they have to volunteer and want to do it. And you have to want to partner with them. And then you guys work on programming your cosmic memory because you have amnesia when you're born. So one of the things you guys do is you focus on really programming you before you incarnate so you could try to remember. And most people forget most of that. Okay. I was very fortunate that in a purpose-driven incarnation that I was very specific about that. My programming was very, very, very thorough. I made that a priority. Okay. Some of you might have other priorities for planning and packing before you came into this world. That just so happens to have been mine. Okay. So it's an agreement. Yes. Great question, Melissa. And guys, your questions help because this is, just a very general, very thorough, all about spirit guides event so that we can help people that have misunderstandings, that have been misled, that have been given misinformation. So you have a solid platform to go back and listen to this live. And then maybe you want to do meet your spirit guides. Okay. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So Melissa, I just recapped it for you. So yeah, I definitely go back if you missed the first part and listen to the beginning. This one, unlike the first one, I'm doing a lot of reminding people I'm not doing readings tonight. But it's going to give you a good solid idea of spirit guides. Sharon Williamson, I would love to read for you. Keep an eye out. I'll be on in the next couple days doing readings. Today is dedicated to spirit guides and spirit guides only. Okay. Just so that we can do an all about spirit guides live. Let's see here. Great question. Hold on, Cindy Peace. I'll get to you too. And Ty, I need to get back to your question. Let's see. LSCGs, is intuition separate from spirit guidance? Great question. So I have a program called Awakening Your Intuition. And in the Awakening Your Intuition, excuse me, in Awakening Your Intuition program, it is a a digital program I have created whereby we have weekly lives, which I've taken 2 months off of because I've had animal and parent stuff to deal with. And I was spread too thin, but you get to have a live every week where you watch the videos at your own pace and you learn how to develop and trust your own intuition, to decipher between your egoic thoughts, your prefrontal cortex, your mind thinking, and your intuition. And that's a very powerful to do, okay? Especially for women. It's powerful for all of us, but women, it tends to be a natural thing once they get the hang of it, right? So what your intuition is the voice of your soul coming through. It comes through your cognitive mind, of course. So you think in terms of thoughts. When you're on the other side, you don't have thoughts, you have awareness. I know that sounds scary, but you have awareness. So when you're incarnated, behind your thoughts are awareness. So let's say someone asks you something and you take it personally and you take it negatively. That's based on the 95% of your mind you're unaware of. Okay. Maybe they don't mean it that way. Maybe they thought the question was a compliment or the compliment was a compliment, right? But because of the 95% of your mind you're unaware of, your egoic mind takes it as an insult and it runs with it and it makes up a whole story. It causes a problem that isn't there. We all do it all the time. Your intuition can help you there because if you don't believe your thoughts, this is what we do in mindset coaching. If you don't believe your thoughts and you still your mind long enough, you can hear your intuition. It's the quiet, soft voice behind your thoughts that if you shut up and you are like, you might not be able to stop your thoughts, but you can say, okay, I don't have to believe these thoughts. Then you can start to hear your intuition coming through. Okay. Now, why is this important as far as spirit guidance? Because your intuition will never, and I mean never, ever, ever contradict what your spirit team is telling you. Because your intuition is the voice of your soul. The majority of your soul is not incarnated. The majority of your soul is still on the other side where you came from and will go back to. There's only a teeny tiny part of you here. So let's say that my body is 100 times the size it is right now, but my hand is this size. And I put on a glove. This is my incarnation, what I just put in the glove. Okay, only a teeny bit of you is here in this reality. So when you get spirit guidance and you have intuition, they will always coincide. Okay, if they don't coincide, then it's not your intuition. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Let's see. You need that, Ty. Awesome, I love it. Okay, so let me go back to Ty's other question. How do you improve communication with your spirit guides? Easy. You come to my Meet Your Spirit Guides event, and then you do everything that comes out of it that your spirit guides tell you to do from that. The short answer is, sorry, guys, I'm drinking a milky coffee and I've been talking a lot. So now I'm going to start to cough. Practice, 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 right? Like anything. If you, Ty, you're fluent in Spanish. How did you get good in Spanish? You practiced. Learning to communicate with your spirit guides is exactly the same way. The more you communicate with them and acknowledge them, the more strong that connection will become, the more clear and loudly they will be able to connect with you. I personally recommend in Meet Your Spirit Guides and in the Awakening Your Intuition program with my coaching clients that you journal. Because you can burn off your extra mental energy and you can see on paper what is just your egoic mind. And then and only then, you can start talking to your spirit guides, asking them questions, and you'll see that what starts to come back, you can tell is them. And it specifically will be them. You can tell. You can tell the difference between your own thoughts and the voice of your spirit guides. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Guys, I go more in depth in all this in the Meet Your Spirit Guides. Okay. So we've got a few more minutes here. And I've got to let my horse out. I've got to feed everybody and bring everybody in. Yes. Oh, it's so fun to have you on here, Ty. I love it. Let's see. Have our spirit guides ever walked on the earth? Great question. So you might not have been here in the beginning when I was describing what spirit guides are. Most spirit guides have incarnated. Most of them have been in an incarnation with you, not necessarily in this realm. I mean, I have a spirit guide who has not incarnated with me in this world, but in higher and other dimensions, he's been with me. Okay. But most of your spirit guides will have incarnated. Many of them, you will have been spirit guides for them. They're either in your soul community or in your soul family, and you have known them for eternity. Okay. So that is a great, great question. Let's see here. Ty, you wrote something real long too. I'm going to look for. So Cindy, I will be doing readings in the next couple days. If you want to find me, then I'll be happy to give you a reading. Okay. I have to stay focused. As hard as it is for me to say no, I have to stay focused and dedicated to spirit guides today. Okay. Let's see. What's the best way to connect with your guides? Well, they're always there and available and wanting to connect with you. So the difficulty and challenges that we have in connecting, understanding with them, communicating with them, validating their presence is all on our end, because we're the one with the egoic veil. We're the one that's only aware now of a minuscule bit of who we are and what's going on. So the more consciously awakened you become, the more of this you are aware of. However, everyone, even the Dalai Lama, has an ego, right? And so that's why he lives the way that he does, is simply as he did. Okay. Jesus also had practices by which he had a specific way that he lived, because no matter who you are in human form, if you have a human body, you have a mind, you have an ego. Ego is synonymous with thought, which is synonymous with mind, okay, which is synonymous with resistance. So the best way to connect with your spirit guides is to acknowledge them, is to speak with them, not try too hard, to just keep talking to them. And again, find quiet time, preferably in nature. Spend less time in front of social media. Make sure you have time away where you're not being influenced, so that there's space for them to enter, space for you to hear. They're always there talking to you. You're just not always listening. So journaling, that's why journaling is very, very powerful, because it helps you to distinguish between your egoic mind and your intuition. And your intuition will always match what they are guiding you. It's almost as though your own soul and your intuition is a part of your spirit team, and it will always say and give you the same advice as your guides. So get in touch with that, and your guides will be able to get through to you more easily. Okay. I hope that answers your question. All right, let's see here. Ty, I highly recommend watching these lives and even doing coaching. Larkin has really helped me reconnect with my spirituality and allowed me to connect with my spirit guides in a way I never thought possible. Oh my God, Ty, I love you so much. My buddy, my birthday buddy. That's amazing. I'm so glad to know that. I love the feedback. Thank you. Thank you, Ty. I didn't realize that it had impacted you so much. That really tickles me. Okay, let's see here. Thank you for that. When you do your readings, can you see spirit guides? What's the process like? Yes, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So whoever needs to come through in a reading comes through. I almost always see spirit guides and angels around people and their energy body. Unless somebody really has a message, or if the person I'm reading for has blocks, usually the people that have just passed away, or the animal, not so much the animals, but the people that just passed away that they're wanting to connect with, those are usually the slower ones to come in, not always. It really just depends. But that energy of the spirit guides is always right there with people, and their angels as well. It doesn't mean with the loved ones it's not. It's just a different frequency in relationship because the job is different. They're kind of free to go do whatever they want afterwards, whereas the angels and the spirit guides have made this commitment to you. So they show up. I mean, maybe I'm just not needing something from them at the time and I'm answering somebody's questions, but they're usually always right there present. And especially when we go into readings, because usually people are going through something and the spirit guides are always there to support and back them up. So yes, they're pretty much always there when I do readings. Okay. And I want you guys to learn how to do that too. Let's see. Let's tell the horses you said hi, Ty. Ty, you got to come out and see him next time. Let's see. Hi, Julie James. Welcome. All right, I see your question, Cindy. Awesome. Let's see here. Great question. Why would someone prefer to work with their spirit guides versus angels? Well, actually, there isn't a versus. It's not like that. And I could throw the same thing back at you. Why would you prefer to work with angels versus spirit guides? I don't get it. I know a lot of people are obsessed with working with angels and they forget about spirit guides, which is exactly why I'm making a big deal about spirit guides, because they are both two very separate aspects of your spirit team. It's not that one is more important to work with than the other. If you are incarnated, you need both. The angelic energy is such a high, fast moving vibration that when you're interacting with angels or angelic, like when I did my first introduction and I invited the archangels to come and introduce themselves to me, which they did, which my clients learn in the Awakening Your Intuition program. Angels are in and out. They're so quick. They're lightning speed. They're colors. They're glitter. They're unless they come in the form like the gentleman that helped me change my tire. They come in many forms. But typically angels are quick in, quick out. It's very hard for them to maintain anything we can sense and interact with here in this world at this low frequency. As a matter of fact, angels can't always even see you unless you slip into the right frequency. Okay. Whereas spirit guides, remember, they're given the gift of being able to a huge range of frequency from their natural frequency on the other side to a real low frequency while you're incarnated, just so they can be down as close to your frequency as possible. So it's not that working with angels is, your question to me indicates it's a sort of an assumption that it's, why would you work with spirit guides when you can work with angels? But spirit guides is every bit as relevant as angels to work with. And that's exactly why I'm doing this. So I'm really grateful for your question. Again, guys, the spirit guides are the ones that inspire, encourage, speak to you in your head. They're the ones that are giving you ideas. Okay. This whole thing and the Meet Your Spirit Guides event was the spirit guides idea. It was not my idea. I had a ton of spirit guides come to me and just be like, come on, you got to do this. Okay. So whereas angels have very different roles, they can interfere, they can help change your energy. They have a whole different role. Okay. Such a good question. Cindy, do spirit guides help you to let go or do special tasks that you ask? Yeah, so spirit guides can't do anything for you. They cannot do something for you. They can encourage, suggest, inspire, guide you to take action for yourself or to change your mind or to do something different, but they can't actually do something for you. Okay. You can ask them for the guidance or the advice. You could say, please help and guide me to not be so, impatient. And they might say, go find this book. You might be able to say, okay, spirit guides, here's your task. I need you to help me find the perfect gift for all my loved ones, like they did for me one Easter. And they were like, go to Barnes and Nobles. So I did. And I'd never been in that particular store. They told me where to walk in the store. Walk in the store, go left, go through these little doors, go straight down, go to this aisle, go to the left. Now look down, squat down on the floor. And my life. Hopefully they won't keep calling. I have to get off in about 5 minutes, guys. So there was books I had never heard of before. The Power of Now and Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. I had never heard of those books before. They changed my life. I bought 23 of them or 24 of them that day, and I gave them away. And those two books, I'm on a live. I'll call you back. I knew she'd call back. Ty, it was my mom. So those books transformed my life. There would be no My Powerful Choices coaching. I wouldn't have had the hundreds of people that I've helped transform their lives. I wouldn't be sitting here with you now. It completely transformed my life. I read them nonstop for 17 years straight. I still read them, but over and over and over and over. And the book was alive. So that was spirit guidance. So they can definitely do things that you ask that they know is in your best interest. And they'll do it through suggestions and guidance. Okay. Hi, Presh. Welcome. Let's see. So today we're doing spirit guides, Els, but we can talk more about angel numbers and signs and things. Absolutely. Let's plan on doing that my next live when I get on. We talk about that in my Awakening Your Intuition program. I have a whole chapter of video lessons on that, and we talk about that in our mastermind, and my clients learn how to identify all the signs. We have a whole chapter on just signs and symbols, and we talk about that more in depth. Okay. Let's see. Do they communicate the same way? Hi, Kellyanne. Welcome. I hope you got my email last week. Great to see you. So do they communicate the same way? You mean angels and spirit guides? No, they do communicate very differently. So again, the spirit guides will speak to you, give you ideas, suggestions, inspiration, motivation. Angels will oftentimes put people that are talking about something in line in front of you in a grocery store. And miracles happen. I mean, it's like the guy that stopped and helped me change my tire, right? Showing me I was safe, I was protected. Like my angel trying to prevent me from being thrown out the window. Angels will always speak to you in this calm, steady, repetitive voice. So let me put it this way. When spirit is talking to you, Cindy, thanks. When spirit is speaking to you, it will speak to you in signs and symbols like numbers and things like that. Angels will speak to you in usually feeling, or they'll show you something. You might get a feather, an animal might show up, you might get a package at your door, you might run into someone somewhere, you might have somebody show up out of nowhere and help you. You might get a soft voice that keeps repeating itself. You might have things shown to you. Maybe you get flowers that remind you of someone. You might smell something. So angels have all sorts of signs and symbols and feelings and ways that they communicate with you. Spirit guides, typically, they like to talk to you. They like to give you inspiration and ideas and motivation and thoughts and ideas. Okay. And again, we don't have enough time to go into that in depth. I could actually do a whole live just on spirit guides and angels connecting and communicating with you. So if you do end up joining the Meet Your Spirit Guides event, or are interested in the Awakening Your Intuition program, that is something that we spend weeks on learning in that program. Okay. It's a great question. Okay. Oh, Kelly, maybe it's a different Kelly then. You'd emailed me about getting a reading. Maybe that wasn't you. Maybe it was a different Kelly. I thought it was Kelly Ann. Let's see. Seemingly something like synchronicity. Yes, synchronicities, exactly. Those are coordinated by angels as well. Okay, let's see. Oh, you're welcome. Let me make sure I've got all the questions before we log off today. For those of you that liked this, here are some calls to action for you. Please make sure that you like this event so more people can find Veronica's page, and people that may need to connect and learn about spirit guides can find it. If you like this and you want to follow me for more of my lives and readings and opportunities, you'll see my psychic medium page link is right down here on the scroll here. Go ahead and like and follow that. I do readings throughout the week. So if you did not get a reading because we didn't do readings tonight, you're welcome to follow me there as well. If you want a free discovery call, please look at the video I have pinned to the top of all of my pages. Listen to that video. It's very specific. And if you're interested in the Awakening Your Intuition page or coaching, do that as well, okay? Because that will answer all those questions. In a minute, I have to go feed the horses. Let me see. Melissa, do you have a question? Larkin is an amazing medium. The things she knows and tunes into blows is mind-blowing. She did a reading for me after my dad passed, told me about a dog in a picture that my dad is with. I found the picture after Nana passed. Yes, I told you would. Remember? This is crazy. A lot of times what spirit brings through to us is something that people find after the reading, right? Because they have to take the opportunity when they have us to connect and communicate that to you. Has no previous knowledge of this dog. Was years before my time. Thank you, Larkin, for all you do. You're so welcome. I still remember the dog. I love you, Melissa. I love seeing you on here. Let's see if there's any more questions before we go. Oh, what a good question. Do spirit guides help you to let go, or do special tasks that you have? Oh, we got that one. Let go, let go. That part I missed. Yes, they can help you to let go by giving you inspiration, instruction, and guidance. And then the angels help you with the energetic aspect of that. Okay, they can work on you energetically, provide the right opportunities. So the spirit guides and the angels work together with that. Okay, that's a great question, Cindy. All right, let's see if there's any other questions before I let you go. The natives are getting restless. And Kweezy, again, yes, I will be doing readings. But just make sure that that you come when I'm doing live readings. Okay, today was an exception. So guys, the next Meet Your Spirit Guides is March 28th. It's absolutely free. If you are new to spirit guides and you want to know if you have them, or if you are experienced and you want to deepen your connection and relationship to them, and you would like a spot in there, it's almost filled up. I only take 20 people at a time. It's Saturday, March 28th. You need to private message me. So like and follow my psychic medium page, private message me, and I will let you know if there is a spot. Or you can email me at larkinsreadings@gmail.com to see if there is a spot. If you would like if you are feeling stuck and need help and you would like a free discovery call, you need to go to the pinned video on the top of my pages, watch the video first and see if that's what you're wanting, because I only do 10 of those a week. Okay. And then you'll need to message me for that as well. I want to, oh, thank you, Cindy. I love having you here. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, I want to thank you. It was an honor to have you be a part of this video. This All About Spirit Guides video, I'm going to be sharing with people a lot, because I want them to watch this if they're interested in spirit guides, or if they're confused, if they want to join the Meet Your Spirit Guides event. And you guys were all a part of that. Your questions were a part of that. We will do this again sometime soon. and really get into it. So make sure you understand the difference between spirit guides and angels. If you found that this helped you today, please let me know in the comments and make sure you like this live. I will be posting soon. I will be doing more lives again to make up for Friday shortly. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. Judy and Ty Ellis, thank you so much. What a treat having you guys join us tonight. And yes, Larkin's readings at gmail.com. So there's an S at the end of that. Here, Larkin's, whoops. I'm not the fastest typer. Readings, 2 hours sleep doesn't help. At gmail.com. Correct. That's it. I'm glad it was helpful, Kellyanne. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. I'm going to go feed the ponies now, and I'll see you all again soon. Good night.